Peace and high frequencies. Back outside today. It's beautiful. Having a little hot chocolate with a bit of espresso to get me going. But I wanted to tap back into the dream state last night. And it was a bit distorted. It was, again, this dream was a lot of moving pieces like a few nights ago. But trying to tap back into it and collectively bring it all together has been a little bit difficult for me. So bear with me as I try to go back in and share what was going on. And let me know if it makes sense to you, if you decipher dreams, like I always say. If you're someone who has the gift of prophecy, then please share. A part of a dream, it was like I was waiting on my sister. It was like me, my mother, and my sister. And I was waiting on my sister to go somewhere. And she finally showed up. And when we get to the location, it was like a retreat or some type of... and it was beautiful. It was like a yoga retreat or something. It was like real spiritual retreat. It was a lot of different people. Everybody had a thick mat, and then they put their yoga mat on top of it, and it had blankets, and it was outside. And so I was like, okay, let me get my mat. And she was like, oh, I need my mat. I was like, yeah, you get your mat too. So I went out there, laid down, put our mats down. Then we were getting ready to lay down, and then the dream shifted to me being at like a restaurant, or it was kind of like a restaurant, or similar to where I am here, like a little coffee bar, lounge, food place, but it was really, a chill spot. And it was this really wealthy white man that was there. I mean, he was really, really wealthy. It was like he has money that he didn't even put into bank accounts and things like that, money overseas, and he was just really wealthy. And then he asked me if a friend of mine's son, he was like, I normally have him and Chris do work for me. And I was like, well, who is Chris? And he was like, that's the guy that always takes him. And my friend's son is like, 12, 13. And he was like, I normally takes him to his games and soccer games and basketball games, things like that. And I'm like, he doesn't. His father takes him. But anyway, I was like, okay, I don't know. So he was like, yeah, that's Chris. So I was like, okay. He was like, let me know if they're available. I got a job I need them to do, and I need to pay them. They always do work for me. So I was like, okay. So it's like I contacted him, and he got in touch. He actually connected with my friend's son, which is like 13. And he had this big plastic container of cannabis. And it was like, it wasn't a container, it was just wrapped in plastic. And then he got out a big scoop of it and gave it to his son, my friend's son, who's 13. And it was like, I don't know, like in the dream, if that's the work he wanted him to do or if that was his payment, but it was really weird. And so the dream skips from there to almost futuristic. I was at a friend's house and he was podcasting. And it was this device where if you lean back in the chair, and it touches your skin, it was like a disc, and it was gray in color, but it was clear. It's like transparent, like a transparent gray. If you lean back and it touches your skin, the podcast immediately starts. Your mic is on, the computer is on, you're ready to go. And it was made by Apple, but it has to touch your skin. And it was the friend of mine that was doing it, he's like a billionaire. He was like a billionaire in a dream, and he had a lot of money, and he had a really successful podcast. And it was like, it was kind of like I was there in the room because I was going to be on his podcast or listen in live or something like that. It was really weird. But it was like in the dream, my eyes zoomed into this device and watched it touch his skin, and then watched as everything got started. And it was like a next level device, like very, very high end. So that was the dream, everybody. High frequencies.